Oh, this is Dr. Lucy Rathier, and I'm here to introduce you to a program that I've been doing in the Villages Health called Act on Healthy Living, which is a program to help people deal with emotional eating and successfully manage their weight. First, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a licensed psychologist who specializes in health psychology. Health psychologists help address the factors that allow people to be healthy, recover from an illness, or manage a chronic medical condition. They also help with health behavior change, like quitting smoking or weight management. And we use coping strategies that have a positive impact on individuals' health and well being. I worked at a multidisciplinary comprehensive weight management program at the Miriam Hospital Lifespan Physicians Group in Providence, Rhode Island for 13 years. So I have a significant amount of experience and expertise in this field. I also have been the co-author of several professional journal articles on weight management. And if you want to learn more, you can click on the link and look at my LinkedIn profile. So let's talk a little bit about long-term weight management. There's a lot of challenges in maintaining weight loss in the long run, and usually it stems from the difficulty in exerting behavioral self-control in the face of biologically based responses to internal cues, like, gee, I have an urge or craving to eat something sweet or something salty, or in the face of experiencing an unpleasant emotion. So I'm stressed, and I feel like I need something to eat to comfort me, or I'm bored, I need something to do, I'm going to go see what there is to eat. In addition, we also have to manage our response to environmental cues. There's a lot of calorie dense foods in a toxic food environment, meaning lots of fast food places, or if we go to pay for our gasoline in the mini mart, there's a lot of snack food that we see. The minute we go into a grocery store, there are displays of treat foods around. Any social events that we participate in often have a lot of calorie dense foods there. And also in our society now, we have a lot of labor saving devices. There's a lot of things that are now managed by remote control or smartphone technology, so we barely have to move. Many people that are overweight show high levels of food addiction-like symptoms. Okay, what that means is it's not a true addiction, because true addiction means that we're physically dependent on having, an illicit substance, or we're consciously seeking that all the time, or we might go through withdrawal if we don't have it. But what we do experience are are situations in which the reward or pleasure part of our brain gets activated. So that's what makes it addiction like. So this can lead to an increasing desire to eat to control uncomfortable feelings like stress or anxiety or boredom, negative emotional states like sadness, anger. Emotional eaters, compared to people that did not engage in unplanned eating when they were upset, are now less likely to lose weight because of the emotional eating and more likely to regain weight that's lost. So this makes it an important target for helping people to manage their weight. But every year I set a goal, right? So there was a research study conducted in 2015 at the University of Scranton about that. And the people that make these sort of New Year's resolutions, it's about half the people in the United States do that. And not surprisingly, most people are making a New Year's resolution for weight loss, but only 8% actually meet their goal in the course of the year. So that tells us that goals don't really work to motivate us. If they're not in the context of a deep interest or value, what we find meaningful or important to us, they're less likely to elicit the sustained energy, the motivation over time required to achieve them. So the why matters. It doesn't matter unless it's personal to us or meaningful. Your primary care providers or specialists could talk to you about the benefits of losing weight, how it might lower your blood pressure and help you manage your diabetes better. But if it's not meaningful to you, you're less likely to do it. And sort of think about other aspects of your life where you did, in fact, do things that were meaningful to you. So you might have gotten additional job training. Did you do it because you had nothing better to do with your time? Or did you do it that you wanted to be in a job that was more meaningful and helped other people? And for those of you that are parents or grandparents, did you make the kids dinner, help them with their homework, read a bedtime story, even though you might have been tired and stressed at the very end of the day? And if you did you do it because somebody paid you to do it? Probably not. Typically, we do it because it was important for us to be a caring, loving parent or grandparent. So it's really about why it matters to us that we do things and we press on in the face of some barriers or obstacles. So this program approaches weight management and emotional eating in a much broader perspective. It's more about how do I want the quality of my life to be? What do I want my life to be about? Typically, we want a life that matters, that is vital, that's full, that's connected to other people. So, therefore, the goals of this treatment program are to help you lead a life that's vital, fulfilling, and in line with your values in the face of uncomfortable experiences of negative emotions or unhelpful thoughts. We're additionally going to learn some specific strategies for weight management with the intention of improving our physical and emotional functioning, our general well being in our life. So, how do we do that? Well, one of the main approaches that we utilize in this program is called acceptance and commitment therapy. And that's a newer version of traditional cognitive behavioral therapy, both of which have a strong research evidence base. And so, in implementing this approach with these components, it's going to help us to utilize healthy habits as a choice to have a better quality of life, a life well lived. So, one thing that we're going to address in this program is our values. Why is it important for us to be healthy? Do we want to be healthy and active as we age? Do we want to be able to participate in events? And do we want to have a long term life where we're around to see our grandchildren graduate from college and get married? We're also going to incorporate mindfulness, which you may have heard of because it's gotten much more attention in our culture lately. It's comes from Eastern culture, and it's really about being in the here and now, not judging ourselves, and allowing ourselves to experience what we need to experience, sort of like when we experience boredom or stress, that we can allow it to be there and recognize that it doesn't have to overtake us or derail us. We're also going to learn to use some strategies that are going to help us deal with thoughts that aren't helpful to us. Many times we have self evaluative thoughts like, I messed up and I ate something that I wasn't supposed to eat. I'm never going to be a success at weight management. And those are just thoughts. They're not necessarily realities. So we're going to learn that we don't always have to buy into those thoughts, that we can have that thought and get some distance and perspective from it and still do what's important to us. We're also going to realize that we can use acceptance to cope with the challenges of difficult situations because avoiding them isn't always a workable strategy. And then we're going to be willing to move forward, accept those emotions or other negative experiences, and be committed to doing what matters to us. This is all in the service of what's called psychological flexibility, meaning that I can still do something that gets me closer to how I want to be in my life, despite the fact that I might have a negative thought, a craving, um, be stressed or tired and not want to do it. So instead of a but, we're going to have a nevertheless. So I'm having a chocolate craving. Nevertheless, I'm going to use mindful urge surfing so that I can get closer to my value of being healthy and active as I age. I notice I'm having a thought that I can't cope with stress, so I need some chips. Nevertheless, I'm going to do a relaxation strategy because that's going to help me get closer to how I want to be. I feel stressed and tired and want to skip exercise. Nevertheless, I'll walk for 15 minutes because I want to be around for my grandkids when they graduate for college or get married. So, again, the avoidance of uncomfortable feelings may be motivated because we want to have a sense of control over them. We don't like to experience pain or stress or frustration. We don't like to have unhelpful thoughts. So many times people try to avoid them by smoking, drinking lots of alcohol, eating junk food, overworking themselves, being sedentary, isolating themselves. And again, it's not workable. You might feel great when you're eating a piece of chocolate or having a bag of chips, but what usually happens? We feel guilty and discouraged, and we might just continue to eat more. So it's not a workable strategy to try to avoid the stress, anxiety, sadness, boredom. So we need to adapt. So we need to give up the struggle with stress, sadness, or anxiety in the strategies that we've utilized in the past that weren't workable. So this is a prelude to success. We're going to recognize the struggle we've had with weight, health concerns, and the distress that accompanies that. And we're going to give up strategies that don't work, and we're going to come up with more flexible and effective responses. So it is what it is. I'm bored, I'm stressed. It becomes what I make it. I can implement a strategy that's going to help me accept it and be more workable for me. Some of the things we'll learn about are how to surf the urge. Urges or cravings to eat an unplanned food based on emotions or triggers in the environment usually last only a few minutes. We're the ones that make it worse the more we focus on it. So we're going to learn some strategies to surf it, meaning that, it will crest and it will fall just like a wave in the ocean. So there's lots of different strategies that we're going to come up with, but some important ones that we're going to utilize include this mindfulness. So we're going to use our breathing to focus and center. We're going to focus on our mindfulness of hunger. Am I really hungry? Is my stomach empty? Or is it something else? Is it really an urge or desire to eat something? We're going to be mindful in our eating experience. A lot of us eat mindlessly. We sit in front of the TV with an open bag of chips and we just keep eating, eating, eating. And really, after the second or third chip, we're not even realizing that the taste of it or anything like that. We're not really savoring it or appreciating it. So we're going to become more mindful and be more aware of the sight of food, the touch of food, the smell, the taste, the texture, and appreciate and savor every part of it. And again, we're going to use our breath to urge surf. So as a little preview, if you would like, if you go to this link on thevillageshealth.com, there is a recording of some of the mindfulness strategies that we're going to utilize in this program. And so you can maybe try some of them out. And again, we're going to deal with some thoughts that contribute to our distress, like I deserve this brownie, I was good all week, or I've already blown it, what's a few more chips? or I should have done better with exercise, because they lead us to act in unhealthy ways. They get us further from being healthy and active as we age. They get us further from having the energy to do things with our family and friends. So we're going to learn that automatically buying into those thoughts as true or realities is not helpful. They're just thoughts. We're going to learn to hold them lightly rather than buying into them hook, line, and sinker. Other topics that are going to be addressed to help us with emotional eating and weight management are, again, eating flexibly in the face of some unexpected events, how to eat special treat foods in control, how to sit with or be with our emotions so they don't overtake us, how to manage stress and worry. We're going to learn about constructive worry, how to incorporate getting social support for physical activity, responding positively to setbacks, and particularly having compassion with ourselves, because we often beat ourselves up when we go off from the direction we wanted to be in, how to manage triggers and cues in the environment, dealing with holidays, and then lastly, how to successfully continue the maintenance of these new healthy habits that we have. So again, what we're trying to accomplish is psychological flexibility. We want to be more accepting of our experiences, even if they're not comfortable. We want to be more mindful and intentional in our daily living, take action to resolve difficult situations rather than avoiding them, because it's not a workable strategy. So all these strategies that we're going to learn have a synergistic effect. They interact and they support each other. So we'll be living in the moment. We'll be detecting problems and approaching them with compassion, and we're going to accept what we experience as just our stuff so that we can again live a life that's in accordance with our values. So again, it's going to be that nevertheless kind of statement, because it's going to get me closer to how I want to be, healthy and active as I age, engaged in activities with family and friends. So the emotional eating program is available to patients of the Village's Health. It's a 12-week group program. Currently, we're doing them live and online, and we may do some in person as it permits. Each meeting lasts an hour. To get more information about enrollment and fees, you may call or email Mandy Bibler at 352-674-1779, or her email address is down there. So I hope you consider this program. Many people in the Village's Health have participated and found it to be beneficial. Thank you for your kind attention.